Okay, should you be worried about burn-in on your TV? Well, if it's OLED, the answer is maybe. If you've ever looked at getting an OLED TV before, you've definitely heard the term burn-in at one point or another. And if not, burn-in is the residual picture or marking that's left behind even after the picture has changed. This really only happens when there's a static picture on the screen for a long period of time, which is why you don't necessarily have to worry about it on something like a smartphone. However, having a TV or computer monitor, the chances of having a static image are a lot higher. This could be the taskbar at the bottom with the clock and calendar in the corner, and on the TV it could be a news station logo or a text box that goes around the text at the bottom. It would be like if this stayed on your screen, but for the next 4 hours. It wouldn't really change, and on some TVs, that's kind of a problem. But that's the thing, does it only take 4 hours of an image for your TV to be toast? How long does it take before it's just stuck there forever? And how long does it take before your TV is just a collection of unsightly ghost figures? Well, Ratings.com is researching that exact topic. And if you're not familiar with Ratings.com, they do a lot of really objective reviewing for technology, and they have a whole research and development department to test things just like this. So what exactly are they finding anyway? The experiment is still ongoing, but the results don't look good, unless you're LG. During this experiment, almost all of the LG TV models are performing really well, and that's definitely saying something. This test is really intensive, and these TVs are on for hours and hours a day. Across the board, LG's TVs are performing far better. They don't have nearly as much retention as the Samsung and Sony TVs. Sony and Samsung's TVs have a much higher image retention rate across the board. And the reason why this is an issue is they're not even halfway done with the experiment. As you can see on the LG TVs, it's looking pretty good. But on the Sony and Samsung TVs, there's a definitive banner across the bottom from that news station. And as for the highsets, it really couldn't hang and burned itself up apparently. So does this mean that you shouldn't buy any OLED TV that's not an LG? Not necessarily, because this test is simulating pretty intensive usage over a pretty long period of time. However, you can't deny that when all of the LG models are performing really well in this experiment, it definitely says something. And OLED TVs right now are really expensive, so you definitely want to have peace of mind knowing that you could have your TV on for 18 hours a day and it would be fine. If that is the case for you, then LG might be your pick. It's also important to know that the other TVs aren't necessarily lower quality, but they do use different technology versus the LG TVs. The Ratings.com video goes into more detail, but the LG technology, or OLED, uses a white subpixel, which means that it lets the light shine through instead of having it use all the subpixels to display white, like on the Sony. In addition to this, the LG TVs run far more compensation cycles, which pretty much works to even out the image and reduce the impacts of image retention. In the Ratings.com experiment, the LG TVs run compensation cycles up to 7 times as often as the Sony TVs. As for any final conclusions, we'll have to wait till the experiment is completed. But for right now, if you have an OLED display, burn-in is definitely something to be cautious of. But if you don't leave your TV on for very long periods at a time, then you probably don't have to worry about this at all. If you're wanting updates on this, I would make sure to check out the Ratings.com research and development page. And I want to know, have you had any of your TVs burn in? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.